how does it feel to have so many kids look up to you and be a role model for all these people?
Oh, Zoe, that's such a lovely question. I did say your name. It feels like a real privilege. I feel really lucky that so many people love the show and that it means so much to so many people. And kids, but also mums, come up and say, this has been really important to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in the voice of Mom from Bluey, Melanie Zanetti, everybody. Hi. Welcome to White Plains, New York.
I feel like I'm taking a seat in an exam. Hello.
I work in a school, it's perfect. Welcome to New York.
Thank you.
So, is this your first time in White Plains?
It is my first time in White Plains. Happy to be here.
So, this is great. You are part of this worldwide culturally phenomenon that's going on. Everybody loves Bluey. And I got to ask you first, before we get into the world of Bluey, you've only probably in like the last year started doing the convention circuit. You and Dave, who's the voice of Bandit, right? What has it been like going out there and meeting all these fans of this little cartoon show?
Honestly, it's the best because we had no idea that the show would become the sort of juggernaut that it is. And so we get to meet all these amazing people like you guys. And it's the best. Do you have some like really good stories of some of the kids and families that you've met doing this? I have seen every iteration of a Bluey costume, and I love them all. And all the Bluey ears and dresses, and just lots of children and adults, which I love.
You've worked in a lot of genres as an actress, right? How did you land the role of Chilli in Bluey? What was that like? I mean, nobody knew what it was going to become. So when you walked in there, what was that?
Look, I was putting another voiceover down at a studio that was being run by Dan Brum, who plays Stripe. And he said, my brother's making this animation. It's already cast, but can you chuck some vocals down? You have a great voice. And at the 11th hour, they wanted to change out some of the voices. And they said, can we use yours for the premiere at the cartoon convention? And I said, you can have my firstborn. I've seen the pilot and I love it so much. So they used it, and then they, did their due diligence. They auditioned for like 3 months, and they came back to me and they said, you were right all along. So that's how I got the role.
Wow. Yeah, round of applause. Yeah. Come on, it's Chilli. Come on, come on. So I mean, I'm sitting here listening to you, and I've met you before, and just hearing you, you're not Melanie, your mom. You're sitting here. When you're out there in the real world, right? Do people like pick up right away? Like, have there been any instance like you're in the supermarket or wherever, or your kid's school?
Never. I have never been vocally recognized. And I think there's a cognitive dissonance thing that happens because, I'm not actually a red healer. And I actually have a reasonably neutral Australian tone. And I think unless you're putting the two together, you don't necessarily hear it. So I'm very incognito, which is very fun. I've often walked through past whole families decked out in Bluey gear, and I'm like, they have no idea right now.
So you said you kind of like fell into this role by accident, if you will, right? What is the process of recording a Bluey episode? Like, are you and Dave together? Because the situation, nobody really knows who the voices of the kids are, which is a great,
which is amazing.
Great thing.
It was such foresight on production to go, we're going to protect all the children in this show, and no one is going to know their identity, so they can have a childhood. At the time, no one knew it was going to be this enormous show, so that just showed a lot of foresight. for the recording, and I think this has sort of become Bluey lore now, Dave and I, my dog husband, did not meet for 3.5 years into the show. And we met at Madison Square Garden, and we're like, oh, it's you. And we were watching the show, and we were sitting next to each other, and Dave kept going, it's you, it's also you. So yeah, we record separately, we record by ourselves. And so it's us and the director, and sometimes, depending on where I am, they'll be in the room, or they'll be zooming in. I've recorded all over the world. I've recorded in New York and LA and Australia and Florence and Latvia. It just depends where I'm working, and then they push me into a studio, and that's how the magic happens.
So, and you said you didn't meet Dave until like 3 years plus. With that, have you guys met the kids at all, or talked to them?
Have we met? We are not allowed to say anything about the kids. That's the level of secrecy. But I think we can all agree, whoever they are, they're exceedingly talented.
Adorable.
Like, the grannies? Are you kidding me? That's like characters within characters. Like, such good work.
I mean, it's good that they are anonymous too, because really, the Healer family, they are such personalities.
Exactly.
In their own right, they are the celebrities.
Also, have you seen what happens to child stars? Like, we don't want that happening to the Bluey kids.
No, and Bluey and Bingo, that's who they are.
Exactly. And then I guess for an audience, until one day, decades into the future, when they're adults, they can decide what they want to do. But for everyone else, they're really just these little dogs, because no one knows anything else, which is kind of magical.
Yeah. And speaking of that magic, like, how do you prepare for going into the recording studio as Chilli? Well,
we get the script, so usually we record about 4 at a time in a session. And we'll get them early, and I'll read through, and I'll laugh, and usually I'll also cry on my first read, just because they're incredible. And then we go in, and I'll work with Joe, the director, or Richie, who's the other director, and we'll just have a play with it. So really, it's just being, familiar with the material, but then just being really ready to go in and play.
Yeah, and again, it really is magic, because, like you said, you guys don't record together, and the conversations that they have on those shows, it's like a real family.
It really is.
The energy, just the back and forths, and thinking about Dad passing wind and stuff. We watch it all the time in my house. And just the way that you're coming at them, the kids are coming at them. Like, it's hard to believe that you guys are not doing that
together. Look, it's really testament to Joe Brumm, the creator. Yeah. Like, He's a genius. He writes pretty much every episode. He directs us. He directs the animation. He created the animation. Like, it is his brainchild. So it looks like we have such good chemistry, and we're not in the same room together. So, that's an exceptional team.
Yeah. You mentioned some episodes have brought you to tears. And I think everybody here probably can say the same thing, right? Like the sign, right? Oh boy, that was a big episode. Is there a particular episode that stands out as a particular favorite, or means something really deeply to you, and why?
Oh, I think Sleepy Time is probably my favorite. I just think it's so beautifully written, as well as I think it took maybe double or triple the amount of time as a usual episode, just with all the soundtrack and the level of animation in it. And just, I don't know, it's like this secret world of all this unseen labor that parents do to make sure their kids feel safe and seen. And it's so important. And then it's just beautiful metaphors with all the planets.
Yeah. I know we have a lot of kids in the audience, so if you guys want to come over here, we definitely want to hear from all fans of all ages. So come on over here, because I have a couple other questions, but I know there's some folks that are really anxious to talk to you as well. So just form a line here, guys, and we're going to take a few of these questions. Yep, right over with the gentleman there with the microphone.
Over here with the mic. Mics are very important. So the line will form down here, guys. So Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay. Your name and your question.
Hi, my name is Zoe.
Hi, Zoe.
Bluey is my favorite show ever.
You have great taste.
My question is, how does it feel to have so many kids look up to you and be a role model for all these people?
Oh, Zoe, that's such a lovely question. I did say your name. It feels like a real privilege. I feel really lucky that so many people love the show and that it means so much to so many people. And kids, but also mums, come up and say, this has been really important to me. And I think that's the magic of Bluey, and I feel very lucky to be part of this show. Great question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, your name and your question.
My name is Angelina.
Hi, Angelina.
My question is, what's your favorite part of being in Bluey?
Oh, my favorite part of being in Bluey is, well, there's two. That I get to play with these really fun scripts and get to say lots of smart and funny things. And my other favorite part is that I get to come to things like this and meet people like you, people who really love the show. So that's a really fun part of it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, sir, name and question.
My name's Elijah,
Hey, Elijah.
and my question is, I know you said what your favorite episode is, but what's your favorite season? Because I know
Wow.
my favorite one, the last one.
The last one.
Yeah.
Look, that's really hard because I feel like I've got favorites in all of the seasons, but I gotta say, ending a season with the sign is pretty masterful. So maybe the last season.
Yeah, me too.
Great taste.
Hi, my name is Hudson.
Hey, Axon.
Was Bluey your first Disney show?
Was Bluey my first Disney show? Yes, Bluey is my first Disney show. So Bluey was originally made by a studio called Ludo and the BBC in the UK, and then it was taken on by Disney. So now everyone has a, part in it. It's like, we're like the ring to rule them all.
Thank you.
Hello,
Hello.
my name is Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
My question is, when did you realize that Bluey was going to be bigger than you ever thought it could be?
Oh, okay. So it did really well in Australia very quickly. And that we kind of were less surprised about because we're like, it's a very quintessentially Australian show and it felt very real to our family life. But when it started to pick up here and around the world, that's when I was like, oh, this is really resonating. And I went to, it was like a gathering, a pool party, and it was with people who work in horror film. And my friend said, oh, my friend's a cartoon dog. And these grown men in the pool were like, not Bluey. And they're jumping out and calling their wives. I was like, oh, this might be a thing. So that was the first little tip-off for me.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ara.
Hey, Ara.
I want to say I work as a teacher, as one of the teacher assistants to help the teachers and entertaining the kids in schools. And I'm almost done with my second year of working as a full-time paraprofessional at a public school.
Congrats.
And I want to say is that I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for bringing joy to the students who love watching Bluey in schools. And I want to say is that how does it feel for the students for Bluey being so big? Even the students, they all want to see Bluey in school, and how does and I personally love Bluey as well. And I even calm one of the dogs. I even makes the dogs really calm with the show. And how does it feel that Bluey's like so loved by so many students and teachers in schools and in the educational field?
It feels amazing. Students, teachers, and all the dogs that love this show. Honestly, it feels very magical. We're very lucky. And love that it can be used educationally as well. Or if the class is rowdy.
The pre-K they love, because I work in a pre-K class, and all they love is Bluey. I've seen Blueys everywhere, water bottles, and
They're our
Bluey
demographic.
plushies everywhere.
Love to hear it.
So I want to say thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Your turn.
My name's Alex. I really just got that inspiration watching Bluey. Like, I know I'm like a substitute teacher, but it gave me the vibes as, helping the kids to be like mindful and entertained. But I want to see what made you inspired to do Bluey.
What made me decide to do Bluey? It was sort of by chance that I got involved. I was under some lucky star at the time, and the stars aligned, and that's how I got to be on this wonderful show.
That's really awesome. Thank you so much, though.
Thanks, Alex.
Hi, I'm Justin. I think we met earlier before.
We did.
So I heard something about the Bluey movie being in production. Is there anything you can tell us about that right now?
Oh, I can tell you nothing. Absolutely nothing. All I can tell you is that it's going to be amazing and that I'm heavily NDA'd.
And that it's coming soon.
It's coming soon, 2027.
The letters of the day are N, D, and A. All right, next.
Hi, Melanie. Ooh, sorry, too close. Hi, I'm Zach.
Hey, Zach.
I know you mentioned about the kids and the privacy, but I was wondering if you'd be possibly able to answer this. I had heard recently that it's, like, I know with certain shows, they recast as the kids age because their voices change, like a Peppa Pig, for example. But I heard recently, is it still the same kids, but they have, like, a technology to, like, pitch their voices, or can you not even comment on
From my understanding, it's still the same kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's great. That's great. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, start them young.
Hello, my name is Alexander.
Hey,
nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.
Well, this is my first time speaking out in public with a certain celebrity like you. In my personal thoughts, but my niece is a very big fan of Bluey, and she loves your performance so much, as well as watching the characters on screen that she loves seeing on her television. So my question is, since there's like other popular shows like Dora the Explorer, Peppa Pig, and now recently Bluey has become a lot more popular, what do you think is the reason why Bluey has become a lot more popular than it is now?
Okay, the reason Bluey's become more popular, I think a lot of it's about the way the stories are told. So many families are like, I feel like you've been recording my family. This feels just like us. And so I think Joe, the creators, are really good at getting at the essence of what that time in life is. And I think they're funny and truthful and have amazing messaging without trying to shove it down your throat. I think it really respects its audience. It assumes that you're smart, which I think really helps. And it's fun and funny, and the color's beautiful, and the music's wonderful, and lots of reasons. Thank you.
Thank you, and take care of the baby too.
I just want to ask this one particular question, kind of following up on what he shared. It's also very safe. It's not trying to be anything. It's just what it is. And it's safe. And I think it also probably came at a right time in the world when people needed that safety, and that's where it really kind of got discovered too.
Yeah, a lot of people have said this is what mentally got me through the pandemic.
All right, our next question, name and question.
Hello. My name is Ariana, and first I wanted to thank you for you and Bandit inspiring parents, like myself, to enjoy the fantasy and just playing with your child, the joy and the fantasy of childhood, and sharing that with our kids, not just observing it. I also wanted to, and also to remember that we're human, we're not perfect, we're parents. I wanted to ask, do you feel that you have more fans amongst kids or adults, or is it about the same?
I think it's a pretty even spread. I think, with the show, it's like there's milk for babe and meat for men. There's layers and levels that you can get if you're a kid or if you're an adult. So what I didn't expect was that there's people in their, 20s who are like, I've got no kids. And I love this show. This show helps me when I'm anxious. It's really for everyone. And seeing, what I love is seeing this diverse population of people who love this show and are getting different things from it.
Thank you.
Ooh, wait, we have a quick online question. I think it goes, ruff, 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 ruff. Do you have a response?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate those woofs. I take them to my heart.
Awesome. Next question.
Hello, my name is Mike. Thank you for your beautiful insights. We know that Chilli and Bandit have different recollections of how they met. Do you personally believe they met in London or at the holiday park as a young Sheila?
Oh yes, the lore. Look, I think maybe there was a very brief fleeting moment of meeting early, but the real meeting of minds happened in London. That's my call.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, my name is Molly. First of all, I'm one of the 20-somethings who doesn't have kids.
Yes.
And I love that Sleepy Time's your favorite because that healed something in me too. But I wanted to say, how much do you think of your mom or think back to your own childhood? How much does your own mom inform your portrayal of Chilli and how you look at the scripts and read the scripts and interact with the content?
Oh, hugely. So my mum's been incredibly influential with the portrayal of Chilli. I'm one of 6 kids, and we had, when we were little, a pretty magical time. And my mum was really ahead of her time in terms of being tuned in to us as all these separate little humans, and we had an incredible dress-up box and cubby house and sandpit and swing set and art room. So, she's a really good mum. And so there's lots to draw on.
Hi, Melanie. Hi, Melanie. My name's Dennis, and my question is, would you ever want to branch out into and do other franchises and be more than just the mom and Bluey?
Ooh, I'd be open to a great many things. So apart from being a cartoon dog, I've done lots of different genre work as a human person. Horror, thriller, apocalyptic, romance. I've done a lot of theatre, Shakespeare's and Shaw's and all of that kind of thing. So yes, I'm very open to the whole gamut of the acting experience.
Right, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Julie.
Hey, Julie.
Hi. So kind of piggybacking on your last answer, I've done a lot of stage performance myself, and I'm new to voiceover, and I really struggle with bringing that same energy into the booth that I get from live performance with the other actors, with the audience, and you consistently bring it. How do you consistently bring it that well when it's just you, the microphone, and the engineer?
Okay, a couple of things. Firstly, I act everything out. So if I'm picking up Bingo or Bluey, I'm doing this. If, we're at the beach and we're, running away from the wave, or if you were to just watch me and not be able to hear, I would look insane. So to get the vocal quality that you want, actually acting it all out while you're in the booth. Also, you have to do the same work that you would do if you were on stage or on screen. You have to work out the motivations of what's happening with your character and connect with where they are emotionally and deeply see and connect with the pup in front of you or whoever you're speaking with. So it's really all the same rules. I think the tricky thing is you don't have the other actors in front of you. But I feel like these characters are so clear now. I really know who I'm talking to. So I guess the rules are the same. It's just adapting them for the space.
Cool, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name's Stefan. My daughter's a huge fan, and I just want to thank you very much for all of the show and everything, and just having to make me, as a dad, just freeze in the middle of the supermarket or,
You're
go dance
welcome.
mode. But my question is, you guys touched upon the lore a little bit before, and there's a lot of theories everywhere of different things about Bluey and the uncles and stuff like that. How much of that is kind of put into your heads by the creators or the writers, and how much do you as actors get to kind of feed into that a little bit?
Look, I think so much is on the page because Joe is such a good writer. But I think secretly you can bring whatever you want to it. You can bring whatever backstory, whatever you've created, whatever helps you embody the character. You can bring secretly whatever you want, whatever you think is going to be helpful. But all they give us is what's on the page.
Just a follow-up though. In terms of some of the theories, are there any ones that you have heard of that you kind of stick to, or is one of your favorites?
Ooh, theories. I've heard some wild ones, you guys. Some nefarious ones as well. I don't know if there's a theory I particularly stick to. But I try and stay away from fan theories. I think you don't want the public affecting your performance, just generally in everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jennifer. I came to your booth earlier. If you could write the script for a Bluey episode, what would it be about and what would you focus on?
That's a great question, Jennifer. You know what I think? Which I'm going to be pushing. I think we should do a musical episode. Because
there are 3 finals
Dave's
out.
from a band. Calypso, Megan Washington's a singer, and she has an incredible voice. My voice is fine. Look, there's so much skill. Joff Bush, who does the music, incredible. That's my pitch.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Those record albums do sell very well, so.
Okay, I'm going to bring that to the table.
Hi, my name is Morgan.
Hey,
I was
Morgan.
wondering, who's your favorite character that isn't Chilli?
That isn't me. Well, that's tough. I would say it's a tie with my 2 children. They're the best. They just are.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, he pretty much already asked my question, so I'll just be more specific. I mean, most of it's on the page, but my question was, how much of Chilli's backstory did they tell you in advance, or was it like season 3 and you went, oh, this is what happened to Chilli's mom, or
Yes,
she
they
has
tell
a
us
sister
nothing.
named Brandy, you just knew that all of a sudden?
No, we just knew. We get it when we get the episode.
Okay,
so it's as shocking to you as it was to me.
Okay.
The Dragon, the mum episode, where we find that her mum's no longer here. Guys, devastating. I was so emotional doing that episode.
And, well, 'cause he pretty much already asked that. I guess I get another question. The kids in my family love your show. They are constantly referring to the toilet as a dunny. That isn't a compliment. How do I get them to stop?
I'm so sorry to break this to you, but they're not going to stop. Donnie's a great word.
Another unsatisfied customer. Okay.
You're welcome.
Hello, my name is Sam. In Bluey, Chilli loves to just walk on the beach. So my question is, which is your favorite beach to just walk on?
Oh, that's such a good question. Okay, we have an island of Australia which was called Fraser Island. It's now called by its Aboriginal name, Nagar, and it has the whitest sand. And often, you'll have rainstorms come off there because of its location, and then you've got these rainbows going into the sea. It's just magical. And the island feels quite sacred. So I would say the beaches on Nagar.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hello, my name is Floyd Brigman. This is Sean.
Hey,
I come with a question from my wife. You've mentioned Joe being so important to the feeling and tone of the show. How would you think that's going to change you personally now that he's going to be leaving?
Well, I don't think there's any confirmed anything. All that I know right now is everyone, including Joe, is knee-deep in this movie that we're doing, which will be out in 2027. I think that is the focus, and then what happens next is TBD.
All right, thank you.
Hi, my name is Jack.
Hey, Jack.
I saw you in the booth earlier.
You
I wanted
did.
to ask, for whenever they need narration done, I noticed they always have you do narration for Bluey-related things. Is that just because, you're the easiest one available, or do they get Dave to do?
They do get Dave to do narrations, but I don't know if you've heard my voice, Jack, but I have quite the narrator's voice.
That is, now that you mentioned it.
Yeah.
No,
Look, I think sometimes it's a tonal thing. We're both asked to do things, but I think when anything comes specifically and particularly narration-wise, these guys have got a classic narrator voice.
Yeah, no, that does make sense. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jack.
You are definitely the calm of the Healer family with your voice.
She's the calm in the storm.
There you go. You've been doing these Comic Cons for a little bit over a year now, right? Here's maybe a pitch for an episode. So if the Healers were to go to a Comic Con, what would Mum dress the family up as? I have an idea for you already based on a past episode, but.
Oh, wow. That is tough. I feel like I will betray my lack of knowledge of anime characters because it is weak, my friends. It's weak. But let me think. We could go old school, and I feel like Bandit would be a great Indiana Jones because he works as an archaeologist involved in that. I think we had a potential She-Ra moment back in the 80s, so that could be Mum. And I don't know, what do you guys... Give me a fan theory for Bluey and Bingo. Okay. Oh, these are great. You see? Look, this could be...
What else do we hear?
Banani. Love this crowdsourcing. What's a good anime duo? One Piece. Okay, or Dragon Ball Z. So many good ideas. Or two Pokemons. I've unleashed mayhem.
Who knows where this can go, right?
Okay, so many good ideas, guys.
So, again, you've been doing this, you've been meeting these fans. What are probably some of the most heartfelt moments that you've had meeting the fan base for this show?
Oh, I think when people say that, they've had a tough time with either mental health or losing someone they love, And when they feel like Bluey's been really helpful with that is always gets me, or people who say that they had a tricky childhood or a tricky relationship with their mum and they feel like Bandit and Chilli are healing them, and that gets me. The healer's doing some healing. It's, you know.
So you're part of this monumental series, which is touching so many lives. When you were growing up, what was that show for you?
Oh, I don't know if there was like a cartoon in the way that Bluey is, but I think Disney was going through a real renaissance when I was little. So it was like The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast. That was sort of really having a moment. So I think in terms of cartoons, that probably had the biggest impact. Yeah.
And I mean, you have the voice. I mean, outside of maybe being a Disney princess, right?
Hey guys, I'm not saying no.
Are there any other animated shows, like if given the opportunity to be a part of, anything that you would want to join the cast of?
That's a really good question. I don't know about this One Piece thing people keep talking about. I feel like I'd be into it.
And then, what's something about you, Melanie Zanetti, that the fans would be surprised to learn?
Oh. Something about me that none of you probably already know this, but I am very left-handed. I end up with smush down here, and when I was younger, quite dyslexic. And I'm still like, there's still times where I'm like, oh, there it is. But yeah, so had a tricky time in terms of like when I was quite young, learning to read and that kind of thing. And then I went traveling with my family. We kind of missed a year of school and I wasn't reading beforehand. And then we were away and they came into a room and I was reading. So that's a strange fun fact about me.
Thanks, thank you. And then just for our last question, right? Outside of this upcoming movie and Bluey, what else are you working on? Where can fans watch you or see you next?
Oh, I don't think it's out yet, but I did do an episode of the reboot of Ren and Stimpy. Yeah. So, yeah, and I have a horror short that's in a festival this weekend that's doing really well in Chattanooga, and yeah, lots of bits and pieces around the place. So, yeah.
Excellent, excellent. And of course, more Bluey to come. So,
more Bluey to come, guys.
More Bluey to come. Melanie, this was a real pleasure, and thank you for answering all these fans' questions. Round of applause for Melanie Zanetti, everybody. And so Melanie will be here for the remainder of the weekend. Make sure you make your way down to her table. You can talk to her more, share some more of these great stories, and get some pictures and stuff. Again, round of applause, Melanie Zanetti, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
This is Debbie Derryberry, and you're watching Fandom Spotlight. Be sure to like and subscribe. And remember, geniuses know you need to have fun and follow your fandom. Got a blast!